This is the story of the KGB and the Soviet Union's super spies. Juan Lazaro had a very fulfilling life. Born in Peru, he was a karate black belt, news photographer, and the husband of a popular TV reporter, Vicky Palaz. In 1985, the young couple decided to try their luck in America, so they moved to New York. There he got a PhD and started teaching political science. He seemed like a typical immigrant who got lucky. He was living the American dream. The only problem was, the real Juan Lazaro died back in 1947, when he was just 3 years old. So where did this new successful Juan come from? He arrived in Peru in 1973. According to records, he had a passport from Uruguay. Once he moved to America, he wasted no time publishing reports and articles at his new role as a professor. He called America's wars in Iraq and Afghanistan money-making ploys. He criticized every part of American foreign policy. This guy did not hold back, and his students loved him for it. He was as controversial as they came. No one suspected him to be anything else other than what he was. But you guessed it, Juan was actually a KGB spy named Mikhail Anatolyevich, the perfect example of a deep cover sleeper agent. And the man responsible for creating these deep cover agents was Yuri Drazdov. Under Yuri's watch, KGB spies underwent years of training to transform them into flawless Americans, Europeans, and Latinos. KGB agents would browse through cemeteries, looking for names of babies or children who passed away, and new identities would be created from the dead for the would-be sleeper agents. This was before the internet made their job so much easier. Under these new identities, detailed stories would be created for each agent. A birth certificate would be printed, the church near the cemetery would be paid off to erase the death record, and suddenly these identities would come back to life 30 years later. These illegals would be grilled to the bone. If they even just spoke Russian in their sleep, they would be immediately disqualified. But unlike Hollywood wants us to believe, these spies had pretty boring lives. In every sense, they lived the regular Joe's life. They worked, got fired, had kids, divorced, went to PTA meetings and playdates. They never did any killing or kidnapping. That just wasn't their mission. Instead, they forgot everything about their Soviet heritage, and they just played the waiting game. If they had interesting information to share, they would pass it on to Moscow, but they never went out looking for trouble. But if Russia ever needed someone in America to sacrifice themselves in the name of the Soviet Union, they would be the ones to do it. They were sleeper agents just waiting to be woken up. Closer to Soviet Europe, the sleeper agents there had more action. They would infiltrate anti-Soviet groups, they would stir up conflict behind enemy lines, and no one did sleeper agents better than the KGB. And even today, there are probably still sleeper agents waiting to be activated in the US. In fact, there are more Russian spies in America than ever before. Even if the illegals program wasn't as useful as planned, it's still one of the KGB's greatest and longest lasting successes.